Imagine walking through a quiet Turkish village, and beneath your feet lies an entire hidden world. Tunnels, kitchens, chapels, even stables. Welcome to Turkey's underground cities, vast labyrinths carved into the earth, some large enough to shelter tens of thousands of people. Today, we're venturing deep below the surface to uncover the underground cities of Turkey you've probably never heard of. And trust me, these aren't just holes in the ground. They're living testaments to human resilience, imagination, and maybe just a touch of madness. Derinkuyu, the giant beneath. If we're talking underground cities, Derinkuyu is the king. Discovered by accident in 1963 when a man knocked down a wall in his basement. Yes, really. Derinkuyu plunges 85 meters deep with at least 18 levels. It could house 20,000 people plus their livestock and supplies. Imagine, entire families live down here, moving through tunnels so narrow you'd need to walk sideways. The ventilation system? Genius. The rolling stone doors? Straight out of Indiana Jones. And the wine cellars? Well, clearly they had their priorities straight. Derinkuyu wasn't just a place to hide. It was a place to live for months on end. Imagine the echo of children's laughter bouncing off stone walls, families cooking meals underground, and priests holding ceremonies in hidden chapels. In times of invasion, this city became a fortress, sealed from the outside world. Archaeologists still debate just how old Derinkuyu is, with some suggesting it could date back as far as the Hittites over 3,000 years ago. That's not just history, that's prehistory. Kaymakli, a subterranean maze. Only a few kilometers from Derinkuyu, Kaymakli is another underground marvel, but it feels different. Here, the tunnels are sprawling, with wide chambers designed for communal living. People kept animals on the first levels, lived in the middle, and stored supplies deep below. At its height, Kaymakli might have sheltered 3,500 people. It's rumored that secret passages once linked Kaymakli to Derinkuyu, like an ancient underground highway. The thought of sneaking from one hidden city to another? Absolutely mind-blowing. Kaymakli is also full of ingenious touches. Stone-wheeled doors guarded entrances, making it nearly impossible for invaders to break in. Complex ventilation shafts kept air circulating across all levels. And perhaps the most fascinating part? Archaeologists believe these cities weren't built all at once, but expanded over centuries, layer by layer, as different communities added to the maze. Özkonak, the city with communication holes. Now, here's where it gets clever. Özkonak, north of Nevşehir, has one unique feature that sets it apart. Tiny communication holes drilled between each level. Families could talk to one another across the floors, almost like ancient intercoms. Picture shouting up to your neighbor, "Hey, pass down the bread!" But Özkonak wasn't all domestic bliss. The city was designed for defense, with traps and hidden tunnels that could confuse invaders. Think of it as the medieval version of Home Alone, underground. Unlike Derinkuyu or Kaymakli, Özkonak had another trick. Small holes above stone doors allowed defenders to pour hot oil or water onto attackers. That's medieval home security at its finest. It's these small, ingenious details that make each underground city unique. Mazi, the hidden fortress. Mazi doesn't get as much fame as Derinkuyu or Kaymakli, but it's a hidden gem worth exploring. Unlike the others, Mazi has a more fortified design, with secret entrances tucked into the hillsides. Archaeologists believe it was used not just for living, but as a strategic hiding place during invasions. Imagine being a villager, slipping underground, and suddenly disappearing into a fortress no outsider could find. That's the kind of mystery Mazi still holds today. Mazi's tunnels stretch in unexpected directions, with multiple chambers, suggesting both domestic life and defense. Some areas may have been used for religious purposes as well, with early Christian communities using these hidden sanctuaries to practice their faith safely. Mazi reminds us that underground cities weren't just built for survival, but for preserving culture and identity, too. Gaziemir, the underground caravanserai. Gaziemir is fascinating because it wasn't just a hiding place. It functioned almost like an underground caravanserai, a stopover for traders and travelers. Archaeologists found evidence of winemaking facilities and stables, hinting that it doubled as both a shelter and a commercial hub. So while above ground merchants traded silks and spices, below ground they might have been sipping on some surprisingly good Cappadocian wine. The design of Gaziemir suggests that it was an important waypoint for caravans along ancient trade routes. Travelers could rest, feed their animals, store goods safely, and even share stories by firelight in underground halls. Imagine a traveler arriving after weeks on the Silk Road, finally descending into a cool stone refuge beneath Cappadocia, a hidden world of hospitality. Tatlarin, the religious refuge. Tatlarin near Nevşehir clearly was built with faith in mind. The underground city features chapels and spaces for worship alongside living quarters. Historians believe it may have served as a religious refuge for early Christians. Picture rows of worshippers gathered underground, candles flickering on rough stone walls, singing hymns while the world above was in chaos. If you want atmosphere, Tatlarin has it in spades. Some of the frescoes and carvings found here are remarkable, suggesting that Tatlarin wasn't just a place to hide, but a sacred sanctuary. In many ways, it functioned like an underground monastery. Its presence shows how spirituality and survival often went hand in hand in Cappadocia. Saratlı Kırkgöz, life below ground. One of the more recently discovered underground cities, Saratlı Kırkgöz, is less well known, but offers a real glimpse of daily life underground. Excavations revealed kitchens with stone ovens, wells for water, and ventilation shafts. It feels more homely than some of the others, almost like stepping into a preserved ancient neighborhood. You can almost imagine the smell of bread baking down there, though hopefully not the livestock smell. Saratlı Kırkgöz also highlights how ordinary life could adapt underground. Families baking bread, drawing water, raising animals, and carving out a sense of normality in extraordinary conditions. It's these intimate details that make Saratlı so compelling. The bigger picture, Cappadocia's hidden world. What's truly incredible is that most of these underground cities are still being uncovered. Archaeologists believe there could be hundreds hidden beneath the soil of Cappadocia, with only a fraction explored. They're not just tourist sites, they're reminders that when pushed to the edge, humans can carve entire worlds out of rock. Some of the newest discoveries suggest networks that stretch for miles, potentially connecting multiple underground cities. If proven true, Cappadocia's underground world would be the largest human-made subterranean network in history. Imagine, beneath one of the most photographed landscapes in the world, lies a parallel civilization carved in stone. So, the next time you think of Turkey, don't just picture the beaches or the bazaars. Remember, beneath the ground lies a world of mystery waiting to be explored. The underground cities of Cappadocia aren't just relics of the past, they're reminders of human creativity, resilience, and the lengths people will go to in order to survive. And who knows, with excavations ongoing, the most spectacular underground city might still be waiting to be discovered.